Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to draw some more shapes, okay? Today we are going to draw a parallelogram, and we are going to find out what the attributes of a parallelogram are. So get ready. You're going to need a ruler. You can have a protractor, a ruler. You will need some paper. I like to draw with this paper because it already kind of has the straight lines on it for you. So that helps to draw a straight line. Yesterday, your exit ticket talked about a set square. So a set square is anything that kind of has a right angle to it. So, have you seen those triangle rulers? That's technically a set square. It's anything that can help you draw a straight line, has straight sides, has a right angle, anything like that. So this edge here is considered a set square, okay, because that's a right angle. So you're going to need that today, and you also are going to need some scissors. We will be cutting today like we did yesterday. So today, like I said, what we're doing is we're going to draw a parallelogram. We are going to measure and label its angles to explore their relationships of parallelograms, and then we're going to measure to explore diagonal lines of parallelograms. So, yesterday, if you remember, we drew a shape called a ding 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 trapezoid. We drew a trapezoid yesterday. And when we talked about a trapezoid, we knew that it was a quadrilateral, right? It had 4 sides with at least one set of parallel lines. Now remember, parallel lines are lines opposite of one another that if they were to go on forever, they would never intersect. Never, ever, ever intersect. So, we're going to use our ruler. We're going to use a set square to draw a pair of parallel lines. One pair of parallel lines, okay? So, because we're about to draw a quadrilateral beginning with one pair of parallel sides, what name can we give every figure that we draw today? It's got at least one set. You got it, a trapezoid. So if I want to draw a trapezoid, that can also be called a parallelogram, what will I need to draw next? Parallelograms have 2 sets of parallel sides. So we're going to have to draw 2 sets of parallel sides. So I'm going to use my green marker today. First, we're going to draw one set of parallel lines. I'm going to make this big for you. And what's nice about this paper, like I said, is it already has those lines. Okay, so this is our one set of parallel lines. Now we have to draw another set of parallel lines. And these parallel lines, I'm gonna draw at about 60 degrees. So it helps to have a protractor. To figure out that angle. So 60 degrees there. I'm gonna start here and another 60 degrees, and then use my ruler to continue that line. So a protractor is nice because it allows you to draw the same degree So you know that these lines are going to be parallel. They will go on forever and ever and ever without intersecting. Okay. So we have one pair parallel, two pairs, and now we're going to name our angles. We have angle A, angle B, C, and D. Now, if we were in class, we would be measuring the sides of our parallelogram and we would compare it with our neighbor. But we don't have a neighbor to compare our parallelogram with. So the upper angle on the left is A, on the right is B. Okay, and then we're going to go clockwise. So labeling the lower right as C and the lower left as D. Now we're going to measure these with our protractor. So we know that this line, we said, is 60 degrees. Okay, so we got 60 degrees here. Now we know this is an obtuse angle. It's bigger than 90 degrees. So when you measure, you put the very point here, and that's going to be 120. So it's lined up on 60, but the obtuse angle is bigger than 90. So we're going to flip this thing over. And we're going to measure here. We're looking at 120. And this one, if we made our parallelogram right, I'm trying to find, so this line I actually didn't draw completely straight. So I'm going to redraw it. My ruler was tilted when I drew it, so you have to make sure your ruler is straight. Mrs. Meeks made a oopsie. So my line should be more this way for it to be really parallel, like that. Looks a little bit better. So this is C at 120. This was 120, and this was 60. That looks so much better. So one thing about drawing parallelograms, you guys, or any shape, you really have to make sure that ruler, when I drew this line, my ruler was crooked like that. So it messed up my line. See that? How crooked it is? You have to make sure it's straight. Okay, so C is 120. So when you look at these angles, just look here. What do these measurements have in common? We have 120, 60, 120, 60. What do you notice? Yeah, right? The opposite angles are the same. Look here. They're the same. They're equal. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this baby out. So get your scissors and we're going to cut. we have our parallelogram here. So we're going to make a copy of this now by tracing it on a blank sheet. So I'm going to take this, make sure it's straight on a line. And trace it. Okay, so I just made a copy of it by tracing it and labeling the vertices with the same letters. So we have A, B, C, and D. Okay, now we're going to cut this into 4 pieces like we cut yesterday, 4 parts, by cutting between each set of parallel sides with a wavy cut. So we're going to cut make sure you cut it with a wavy cut like that. And then there's that one. And wavy cut. That one. Okay. So we have A, B, C, and D. Now we're going to put angle A, this angle A, on top of angle C. And we're going to put angle B on top of angle D. What do you notice? Angles A and C are the same, and angles B and D are the same, right? So the angles, the opposite angles, match. They are the same. All right. Now we're going to place our angles alongside each other. So what I want you to notice is if we put our angle A and B alongside each other so that they're touching, notice here we're forming a straight line of 180 degrees. Okay? We're going to do the same thing with C and D. Okay, so when you put these together, C and D, they form a straight line. You can even move them around like this. Well, we gotta have the straight edges. My bad. All right, so A and B, and then C and D. So now what I want you to notice is that when all of the sides are together, it's hard because these move. A, B, C, and D. Okay, so when they're together like this, when we put all of them together, these angles in here, this part here, 120 and 60, 120 and 60, when you add all of them up together, what do you get? If you place all 4 of the angles together at a point, just like this, what do you notice about the angles here? What do they add up to? Yeah, all of the angles add up to 360 degrees. And 360 degrees is a full circle. Pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work with this trapezoid here. We're going to use our ruler to draw diagonals, okay, between A and C. And D and B. What do you notice about the diagonals?